Cooler days, rainy weather and pumpkin spice lattes are here. It is autumn, my friends. Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie and today I will tell you all about my autumn/winter knitting plans for this year. I am super excited about this. Autumn is my favorite season of the year, so I have a lot of plans. I don't think I will make all of them. I make these videos just kind of for fun, not really to hold myself accountable to really knit all of the things I show you guys, which is why I have 3 sections in this video. The first one is things that I actually would like to make. The second one is just kind of pattern ideas and things I would like to make in the future, not necessarily this autumn. And the third section are just really exciting releases and pattern releases that I am looking forward to. So I think we can get started with my autumn plans. I have my handy dandy list right here, and the first one is the Tendreil Sweater. I have made this pattern before. If you have watched my podcast videos before, then you know the whole drama with that. I'm not going to repeat any of that because this will be a new start. I wanted to make the Tendreil Sweater again. I'm going to make the size XS, and about the pattern itself, you do need a worsted weight. She uses a DK weight plus lace, but because you work with a 4mm needle, a lot of the projects that I saw on Ravelry only use DK weight, which is what I'm gonna do as well, just because I know I am a kind of a loose knitter, kind of when I want to. I'm not quite sure yet when I'm not a loose knitter, but last time the Tendreil Sweater was just way too big, and that's because I actually used a worsted weight. And this time I'm going to use this yarn. This is Drops Charisma, sorry. Drops Charisma. It is a superwash 100% wool yarn in a DK weight. This is the color 54. It's a really nice dark grey brown, and I think this will just be perfect for all of the texture the Tendreil Sweater has in it. The second sweater is one that I have wanted to make for such a long time. I actually have a swatch as well. It is the Stockholm Sweater by Petite Knit. It is a DK weight sweater, and I'm gonna make the size XS. You do have positive ease of 15 centimeters, which is why I am already making it the smallest size, because that one's already also fairly wide for me. And this is the swatch that I made. I think this is going to be absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to use Furcolana Arvetta in the color 978 and Tin Silk Mohair in this brownie color. This is the color 3041. And I've never worked with Tin Silk Mohair before. I bought a lot of this yarn and I had such a hard time trying to find yarn that would fit the colour. I had like a colour match. But I am actually really happy with this swatch, with the grey yarn from Furcolana Arvetta and the brownie mohair. So this will be the Stockholm Sweater. Now the next sweater is one where I don't have the yarn for just yet. I actually ordered it yesterday. It is going to be the Care Sweater by Rebecca Clow. She released this pattern almost a year ago, and I think this might just be my Christmas cast on. I don't really do those kind of things where I have like a Christmas cast on, because I always have projects going on all the time, but I think this might be actually really nice. I'm going to be making size 3. You will need a DK weight yarn. The ease is between 2 and 10 centimeters, so it's actually a very wide range, which is why I'm making the size 3, because I just don't want it to be super tight and clingy to my body. And I also want to make the deeper color work. I have bought the yarn for it, like I just said, and this yarn will be from an Austrian yarn producer. It's going to be from Ferner Wolle. I've never used the normal, in quotation marks, yarn before. I have used the sock yarn and I'm really happy with that, but I just really wanted to try and find some local yarn, and I will show you the yarn once it arrives in my podcasts. Then the next sweater is also by Rebecca Clow. It is her Dawny sweater, and I've eyed this pattern for such a long time as well. I also have the yarn for it, but this is not a priority. This is one of those sweaters which would be nice to have, but I don't think I will actually get round to it. It is a cable knit sweater and you do need an iron weight. I'm going to be making size 2, and the ease again is between 2 and 10 centimeters. Now I am already making the Moby sweater by Petite Knit, which is a cable knit, and I've also finished the Haley slipover by Iris Makes, which is also a cable knit. And autumn for me is just cabley and cable sweaters and the really nice moody colours, but I'm not sure if this cable knit I will cast on this year, just because I've already done 2 projects and I think I need to give my wrists a break. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to cast it on ever, because I do have the pattern. I think it's a fantastic one, and this is the yarn I picked out for. This is Wool of World Marble. It is a 80% merino wool and 20% silk DK weight. I bought this when I was in England last year, and this is the colour MY09. Sorry, that's the code Sandalwood. Sandalwood is the colour. I think it's a really nice one, especially for a cable knit sweater. And the mohair, because you do need an iron weight, I picked out for is Filcolana Atelier, my favourite kid silk mohair. And this is 70% kid mohair and 30% silk in the colour 363. I think it's called Camel. I could be wrong, or caramel, something like that. But I think these two paired together, the darker mohair with a bit of a lighter yarn, I think the cables will be really nice in that. The next sweater I want to make is the Tuku by the Petite Knitter. It is a DK weight Colourwork sweater with 2 colours. I'm going to be making size 1 and the positive ease is 7.5 centimeters. I had this pattern in my queue for such a long time, and then I finally bought it, and now I am finally casting it on, because I also bought the yarn a while ago and I also bought it when I was in England. This is 100% British wool 4-ply. I can't quite remember the colour. It came on the cone. I think it's called cinnamon brown. I could be wrong on that, but it's a really nice brown colour, and this will be the main one. And then I have just the standard white one, also 100% British wool from the cone, and this is just off-white, I think it's called. I don't know if they have any like more whites than just one, but I think these two will look really good together. I really liked her sample. The color work doesn't seem to be very complicated, and because you only work with 2 colors, it should be fairly fast as well. Now the next sweater is the Ali sweater, I think it's called, or Ali's sweater, one or the other. I wrote down Ali sweater, but I could be wrong on that, by Sarah Opie. And this is again a Colourwork sweater in a DK weight. I'm making size 1 and the ease is between 6 and 8 inches, which again is fairly big. And I had this yarn for a while. I actually wanted to cast it on half a year ago, and I looked at the pattern and it just seemed super complicated. I know the Colourwork itself isn't, but I just felt very overwhelmed with the pattern itself. But I had a look at it again, and because I just really want the finished object, I thought this year I'm gonna actually make it, and what could work better than these colours. And they're just gorgeous. This is hand-dyed yarn by Olivia and Oliver Fibers. She's based in the Netherlands. She's very popular now. Her business really took off since January, I think, where she had her neutral colours released, which is where I got mine from. This is the colour Shell, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I'm gonna leave it down below. But this one is Mahogany, and this is just gorgeous. I think these will work really well together with a really high contrast, which is exactly what I wanted, and I can't wait to start that. The yarn feels super nice and squishy, very rounded. It is a DK weight merino wool, and I'm pretty sure it's superwash, because most hand-dyed yarns are superwash, and I think this will just look absolutely incredible. I have 4 skeins of this and 1 skein of that, or cake should I say, because I already caked it up. The contrast colour should be enough. That's what the pattern recommended, so I only bought 1. For the main colour, I could be short on it by a little bit. I just have to see. If that is the case, then I will just finish the sleeves first and then knit the rest of the body. You do have Colourwork on the sleeves as well. I don't think I'll be doing that. It also depends on how much I have left over from the contrasting colour, but I think just on the yoke will be fine. So those were all of the sweaters. I do have 1 cardigan and potentially 2 slipovers that would be also good to have. I am not a big cardigan kind of girl. I am realizing more and more that I do actually need them in my wardrobe, but I don't enjoy making them. But for this one, I might actually make an exception. It is the Ava cardigan by Petite Knit. I think this is a very nice design. It is in a DK weight. I'm going to be making size 1, and the ease is absolutely gigantic. I think it's like 26 centimeters of positive ease. So you start off with a bust circumference for the small size with 101 centimeters, which it is so much. I'll be making this in Drops Charisma again, in the color 77. It is a very nice light beige color. Because of the oversized fit of the cardigan, I think something beige or neutral would be best, just so as that I can have it as like a throwover, or if I go to the office and I just need something a little bit warmer, I think that would be actually really good. And then I already mentioned I made 1 slip over already, but it would be good to have another one, a kind of neutral one. So the first one is the Semper slip over by the Knit Purl Girl. It is in a DK weight, and I would be making size 2, and the positive ease is between 0 and 10 centimeters. This is just a very normal slip over, really nothing super fancy or special, but I think those kind of things are really good to have in your wardrobe, just something simple. It does have a crew neck. She also has a v-neck version, which I'm also interested in, but the v-neck for me is just a little bit too deep, so I think I'm gonna stick with the crew neck for now. And the second slip over that I have is the Friday slip over by Petite Knit. This one is actually a textured slip over. It is worked in broken rib. I really like the look of broken rib. I don't think if I will be enjoying really making the broken rib, because there is a lot of purling involved, but it seems to be very engaging, and you do work with the DK weight, so it shouldn't be too long of a project. And the ease is 6 centimeters. What I look for in a slip over is that the shoulders kind of stop with the actual tip of the shoulder. I don't like it when the slip over goes over. I think that just looks weird, and because I naturally have very broad shoulders, I don't want to draw attention to that part even more with the drop. So those were all of my plans. I know I breezed through them, but those are not just for autumn but also for winter plans. And now I have some inspiration for you if you are looking for some sweaters that you might not have heard of before, or just want something new. I do want to make these sweaters as well, but again, I don't know when and I don't know how. So the first one is the Dion pullover by Sari Nordland, an absolute gorgeous design. You do work it in worsted weight, and the ease is between 15 to 20 centimeters. It does have a high neck and a 2x2 rib all over, and you do have cables down the front and back. I think it is an absolute gorgeous design. Again, it does have cables, but they don't seem to be too complicated if you don't mind charts. From my knowledge, Sari Nordland has a lot of charts, so if you don't feel comfortable working from one, I wouldn't recommend this particular pattern to you. But all in all, I think it would make an incredible autumn sweater overall. The next two are also Sari Nordland's patterns. The first one is the Urban Adventure. I've had my eye on this for a really long time as well, I just never got round to it. You work in a worsted weight, the ease is between 5 to 7.5 centimeters, and you work with 3 colors, and you also work with 3 colors at a time. If this is your first time doing Colourwork, I wouldn't recommend this one at all, just because working with 2 colors as a beginner already is a big challenge, and including a third one makes it even more difficult. That is why the next one might be a little bit of a better fit potentially. The Levi pullover by Sari Nordland again. This one is worked in an Aran weight, and the ease is between 5 to 10 centimeters. Again, you have 3 colors, and you have a double folded high neckband, which gives you really a really warm neck. And the Colourwork is worked on the sleeves and the hem as well, not just the yoke. But the advantage with this one is, even though you do have a lot of Colourwork, you only work with 2 colors at a time, which again already is a big challenge, but you have the visual aspect of 3 colors. Trust me, I checked the charts because I do have both of these patterns, and I checked if you do need to work with 3 colors, but no, only 2. The next sweater is the Eclair Raglan. This was such a popular design and it is absolutely gorgeous. I just never got around to making it. I actually have a swatch for it. This is a pattern by Laura Penrose, and you do need an Aran weight. The ease depends on your chest size, and she recommends that you should pick the chest size that is bigger than 12.5 to 25.5 centimeters of the finished garment. So this gives you quite a big range. It's not just an ease percentage or like measurement. And you do have optional bobbles and an optional split hem, which makes it really versatile, and you can change the look of it really easily. Like I said, I have a swatch for it. This is what it looks like. You have one bobble here and the cables down here. I don't know if I am happy with my swatch. I used the baby wool. I absolutely adore this color. This is dark copper and it is 100% baby alpaca, which is super drapey, but it's also very holey. so and kind of see through. I am on gauge, and I'm not sure if I actually want a sweater that is where you can see through this much. But I still want to make it, even though this yarn might not be the best fit for it. And the last one I have for you is the Wisteria jumper by Along Avec Anna. This is also worked in a DK weight, and the ease is between 5 to 10 centimeters. You do have lace and baubles at the same time, and I think this is just such an elegant design, and this just reminds me of Winter Wonderland and a really nice Christmas jumper. Now we are in the last section of this video, exciting releases, and I have 3 releases I am really looking forward to. I know that there are a lot more patterns out there which are getting released and have been teased for a long time, but these 3 ones are the ones I'm looking forward to the most. The first one is the Alder sweater by Rebecca Clow. It is a raglan design, and if you've not seen this one before, then I feel like you must be a little bit under a rock, because this design is just everywhere and it is so gorgeous. The raglan increases look incredible. It is an 8-row repeat, and you work with 2 colors, although I have heard that you don't work with 2 colors at the same time. This one will be released, I believe, in October. I don't think there is a fixed date just yet, but from as far as I could tell, the test will be finishing at the end of September or something around that time, and it will be released in October. The second one is the Tendreil, I have no idea how to pronounce that, sweater by the Knit Purl Girl. This is a drop shoulder design worked in worsted weight, and you do have a split hem and these really gorgeous cable. It's not, I'm not sure if this is classified as cables, but you have these zigzag lines, and I think this just makes it so much more interesting and a really nice, comfy, oversized sweater. This one will be released in September, and I am so looking forward to this design coming out. I need to go through my stash again and see if I have some yarn for it, because I want to cast this on like immediately, because it just looks so comfy. And the third one is also a design by the Knit Purl Girl. It is the Seaview Sweater. For this one, she has not released anything really just yet, just her working on it. It is a cable design. I believe it's a drop shoulder, and you do work with a DK weight. I could be wrong on the yarn weight. It could be either DK or an Aran weight. Either way, it is absolutely gorgeous. It has this cable elements that you want in your autumn sweaters in it without being too cabley, and the repeat also seems to be really easy. Her sample is absolutely gorgeous, and I really hope that she's calling for testers soon, because you can bet that I will apply for the testers, and I'm so looking forward to this release. I don't know when this will be out, because it's not even in testing yet, but I assume it will be out at the beginning of next year, something around that time. So those were all of my knitting pattern plans and inspiration and ideas. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you did. Check out my podcast if you haven't already, and let me know if you want to make any of these patterns that I mentioned, and I'm gonna see you next time. Happy knitting! Bye!